Well, to the Middle East now, because attacks have resumed on American targets in Syria after Iraqi factions fired rockets towards a US military base last night.
Now, this is the first attack against US forces since February and came a day after President Biden met with the Iraqi PM at the White House.
Well, we can speak now to a former British Army officer, Colonel Richard Kemp, as well as the Sun's defence editor, Jerome Starkey. Colonel Kemp, we're going to start with you. What's your reaction to those overnight attacks?
Well, I think they were pretty much inevitable. These are effectively Iranian proxies within Iraq, and it's Iran's intention to get the United States out of Iraq and indeed out of the whole of the Middle East. So I think, you know, they've carried out hundreds of attacks against the United States just since the beginning of the war on the 7th of October, and of course many more before that as well. So it's part of a long-standing pattern of aggression by Iran against US forces.
Richard, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. I've talked quite a lot, despite the fact for many months I was accused of warmongering about that axis. I talk about it every day, the Russia-Chinese and Iranian axis that is and should be frightening for the world in general. As an experienced military man, what do you make of the situation? I mean, when Iran attacked Israel the other day and those drones and missiles were shot down, members of the Arab world supported the alliance, which I think took a lot of people. People were shocked to a degree. Are they getting stronger, that axis? Should we be worried? What do you see? You're in Tel Aviv. What do you believe is going to happen?
Well, on the Arab side, it's been very clear to me over the last 6 or 7 months now, since the war began here in Israel, Gaza. Since then, pretty much all of the Arab countries, and I include Egypt, Jordan, UAE, Saudi Arabia, others, have been on the side of Israel. They haven't necessarily said so, and they've sometimes spoken out against Israel, but the reality is that they support what Israel is doing. They want Israel to destroy Hamas in Gaza. They want Israel to fight back hard against Iran, because they see both Hamas and Iran itself and the other Iranian proxies as a threat to them. And they've given actually more than just moral support to Israel in some cases. And I don't specifically include the coalition action over the weekend, but in some cases, the Arabs have given material support to Israel in the war against Hamas in Gaza. So that aspect of it doesn't surprise me. In terms of the strength of Iran and the way it's become emboldened, as symbolized by its attack on Israel. This is the result of appeasement of Iran by the US administration, backed up by the UK, I have to say. Since the beginning of President Biden's term of office, he has bent over backwards to try and re-establish the very, very badly flawed Obama nuclear deal with Iran. He's also, as part of that move, he's unfrozen billions of dollars worth of assets to Iran, which, of course, you know, there's talk of how that can, you know, there's specific guidelines as to how that can be spent, but the US can't control that, and of course it has gone both into contributing to the Iranian nuclear program, but also into supporting and funding Iranian proxy aggression across the region. And it's a typical, you know, it's typical of our experience over history that appeasement provokes and appeasement encourages aggression.